the Rocstedi podcast.
All right, so I'm gonna give you camera access now. Just give me a sec. I'll turn mine on here first, and then that's working. And let me give you camera access here.
No worries, mate. Me and Scroll's back. All
right, here we go. So you can accept the invite for the camera. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Qball Nickell, thank you very much for joining us, my brother.
Oh, it's all good, man. Thank you for having me. Just gonna sort the dog out with a quick treat my rabbit.
You do it, mate. No worries. Just take it easy. It's pretty chilled, man. It's just a talk, you know. So we are good to go.
My prized possession, bro. Yeah, hey, I'm actually at my brother's house right now, so we just had to run from the tattoos. They're at least still eating my gravy chip, grabbing my juice. Had to go out, so I'm gonna get booked in again on the 24th. I have to go in and get that there done.
Yeah, nice one, man. Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't know if you were going to interrupt anything, but
no, it's just it wouldn't look unprofessional for him. You know what I mean? If I was to do this and get a tattoo at the same time.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, Lewis, thanks for joining us, man, on the Rocstedi podcast, episode 32, I think it is, for us here, and welcome to Fireside. This is a pretty good platform for this sort of thing, from promoting and all sorts of stuff. So your microphone's a little quiet. Maybe if you can bring it round slightly more or something.
That's doing better for you, boys. How about if I just...
That's a bit better, I think, yeah.
Can't drop it, lad. I can't drop it. I'll keep it here. Wait.
Yeah, that's fine. It was all right when you just put it there. That's not too bad. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen...
Sorry, bro. On my brother's iPhone, but I can see he's got like Turtle Beach headphones sitting here. Seeing if there's a wire pit, I can throw them on.
Oh, no, it's good. It should be all fine there. We can hear you, we can see you, so that's good. So, ladies and gentlemen, Qball Nickell is someone that I actually started following years ago on social media. I saw a post that you did. I think you were reading, not the Three Little Business, Three Blind Mice, or Three Blind Mice, I think it was. Something like that.
That one went crazy. Fuck off. That one went crazy. Obviously, being a wee boy from Northern Ireland, that video went all over the world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're from Oz, mate, and you heard of it?
Yep.
You know, like,
oh yeah, and I heard of it years ago.
Hey,
years
weird,
ago.
Man.
So
weird.
I started following you from back then, and seeing you just grow from pretty much a kid to a man, right? Because you were like maybe 15, 16 or something like that.
Mate, I first got my tics whenever I was 16. Tourette's syndrome, I'm pretty sure I've had my whole life, but the tic side of it, I only developed whenever I was 16. So through that there coming on, mate, I was about 17. I uploaded my first video, maybe 16 and a half. Uploaded my first video. You know what I mean? I was bored of sitting in the house, bro, because it's embarrassing. Like, when you feel, you feel embarrassed about it anyway. So you didn't really want to leave the house. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then put up a video. The first one was Dr. Shooting. Fuck off. Go ahead. Go. Fuck off. First one was...
You don't mind if we're going to laugh when you do some good ticks, man, because I think they're great, by the way. Like,
it's okay to laugh, mate. Just don't I hate it when people try to force me to tick. Fucking hate it, mate. Boils my blood. Unless it's funny. If it's funny, I can understand it. You know what I mean? Sure. Let's see when people just antagonize me with it, then I want to break their face.
Yeah. Sure. So tell me, man, like, you said you think you've always had Tourette's, but you never started to tick till you're older. So tell us a little bit about your life and where you started to notice it and what those signs were, so we can understand a little bit about Tourette's. And because I do notice sometimes with some kids, sometimes they'll do like a blink thing or they'll move their head a lot. Is that still a tick? Is that still something that's potentially could be Tourette's?
So, mate, you can get Tourette's syndrome. If you're going by the book, Tourette's syndrome is whenever you have motor and vocal tics for longer than 1 year. All right, that's whenever they start to class it as Tourette's syndrome. Tourette's syndrome isn't just tics; it's underlying mental health disorders like in and out of depression, like OCD, like ADD. For me, what happened whenever my tics started to come along is I woke up one day with more energy than what I've ever had in my life. Woke up for school ready to run out the door. You know what I mean? Never in my life have I woke up to go get a bus at 6 o'clock in the morning with energy. You know what I mean?
So this happened overnight like that?
Yeah, kind of.
And how old were you when that happened?
It didn't just wake up one day and start shouting, "Hey, fuck you!" You know what I mean? That's not what happened. What happened was I got off fuck off from going to school, mate. I had this wee shoulder tick, And it was like this here, like I was trying to hit myself on my shoulder. You ever seen McGregor shoulder strike? That's what it was like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course I have.
And
Yeah.
obviously, hey, that there then went on to spasm. That's the only way I could describe it, as a tick fit, and made it wouldn't stop for about hours and hours and hours. So I ended up getting rushed into the hospital. I went from school to hospital, school to home, home to hospital. And hey, I stayed in hospital for 5 weeks, where it gradually went from motor tics into vocal tics, but a very aggressive way. You know what I mean? It took for about
Right.
hey, go balls. It took about 2 weeks from I started getting the motor tics to go vocal.
And you were around the age of 16 when this happened.
Yeah, 16 minutes. I was
Okay.
going through my GCSEs.
And so before that, it was no. Sorry.
I believe like it was due to a lot of stress that my tics came out, because I was 16 years old, going to school to do my GCSEs. I was working in the gym where I used to compete in kickboxing. I was training every day. My family life hasn't been the best, mate, but we can get on that later on the podcast, like, you know what I mean? But just in that in itself brought on a lot of stress, which in turn I didn't know how to express, because I was only a boy, you know what I mean? So hey, I believe that it's all just kind of fucked my head about, so now I've got a brain disorder.
Sure. So let's not wait till later. Let's go into that straight away. So tell me a little bit about your childhood. Whatever you want to talk about, you can. Whatever you don't, that's totally fine. But let's talk a little bit about that, so we can understand maybe the build up to what happened, and maybe it's a cause, maybe it's not. But then it gives a bit of a background about who you are and how you got to where you are.
Work away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all comfy then.
Yeah, do it, mate. Yeah, do it.
I'm on my brother's bed.
Mate, get a beer if you want. It's totally fine on air.
Here, made a free of 1 ball of water, 1 ball of Suki orange, and then I've what a wee bit of energy juice in case my sugar levels go low.
Well, just before we go into anything, we've got a message from Elvis the King. So here we go.
Hey Lewis, how you doing, man? This is the King here. I'm a big fan. I don't laugh at you. I laugh with you. You seem to be a good sport about it, and we thank you for that, for sharing yourself with us, and your story is very interesting. Also, I realize that I have an uncle that has a really hard blink. He does constantly, and he sniffs a lot. He blinks really hard, rapidly, and sniffs. I think that's some kind of form of Tourette's syndrome. But the question I had was, is it hereditary? Like, will you pass it down to children, or did someone in your family before you have it? Or is it just a neurological disorder that gets developed in an individual without family lineage or anything like that? But good show, man. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution and look forward to your answer. Thanks.
Cheers, Elvis. Cheers. That was the King right there.
That was the King. It's the real King. It's the real dead King. Yeah.
Appreciate it, mate. So I guess I'll start off with your uncle, mate. Majority of people, one in every 100 school children have some form of Tourette's syndrome. It's called a tic disorder, whenever you don't have motor and vocal tics. So if he's having like eye twitches and sniffs, could very well just be a wee tic disorder that comes on whenever he's getting anxious or in his head. You know what I mean? Nextly, is hey, go, folks, is Tourette's hereditary? Somewhat, yes. I don't think if you come from a family with an okay mental health background that you're going to get Tourette's syndrome. But it only develops. Hey, go. It can only be developed at the same time. Like, no one comes out of their mother's womb with tics. You know what I mean? It develops over a lifespan. You know what I mean?
Sure. That's
so
that's
there's
a good
people
answer to help with that understanding. Because I do see kids, like I was saying before, they do this whole blink thing, not just once. Or they have to keep moving their head one way, and it goes on for a period of time too. So yeah, I would have thought maybe that's almost like a start, or it might not progress from there. But I think it can develop from nervousness, from pressure, from stress, just like you said.
Yeah, mate, it's all situational. Like my tics, hey, I was meant to be getting tattooed here, mate, and my tics during tattoo would be somewhat bad, but not bad at all. You know what I mean? Okay. As soon as he lifts the pen, mate, I'm going to go off on one. As soon as that pen touches me, mate, I'm going to be stiff as a board, unable to move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
So you can control it somewhat in those situations.
I wouldn't say it's control, because like at the same time, if I could control it, I wouldn't do it at all.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just situational. The Tourette's will kick off whenever it wants to kick off.
Sure. So
strange
to the listeners,
it's a very strange thing.
It's something that I wanted to talk about for such a long time, and especially being able to talk about it with you first is great because I've been following you for so long. So, man, it's an honor to have you on here. Just letting the listeners know that if you want to chime in with any messages, you feel free to send a 1 minute voicemail to my Instagram, and I'm able to play it on the show just to welcome Lewis to the show or ask any questions that you might want to. We do have another question here from the King. So here we go.
Hey, man, I'm really enjoying the information that we're getting from this. But one quick question for him: does anything set it off like caffeine or alcohol or anything like that? Do those things make it worse, or do those symptoms subside if you have like downers or booze or something like that?
So that's actually a decent question, mate. I don't think there's anything that will make it worse, but there is like. They tried to give you drugs that would suppress it, right? And this is what they tried to do to me. They tried to put me on antidepressants to suppress my Tourette's syndrome, to suppress the tics. But it didn't work. It also suppressed any good feeling that I had and put me into depression. I never once thought about suicide my whole life. Don't get me wrong. I that's a lie, okay? Whenever I was younger, I lost my mummy. And, like, I wanted to join her very badly. Like, I was only 11 years old, and I just couldn't understand why she was gone. I just wanted to be with her, but I had no understanding of what death actually was. You know what I mean? I just knew my mom was here, she's gone, I want to be with my mum. So, to me, that's not a suicidal thought. Alright? But after they give me the stop off. Go, hey, there's a fucking horse outside. Go. It's not, it's a little tiny dog yapping. Can you hear him?
Okay, I could just hear it. It's barely hearable, bands. It's fine. It's no problem unless it's distracting you at school. So let's do that. Let's go into your childhood, man, a little bit, and sort of give us the run about your life. And you said you had a bit of a troubled childhood, so maybe start.
I'm going to answer the Elvis first. I'm going to answer the Elvis man first.
Oh, sorry. I thought you did. Sorry.
Go for it. Alcohol doesn't really affect it, but it can get bad on alcohol. Same as weed. Weed will suppress it to an extent, but it still gets bad on weed. Loads of different drugs. I don't feel like there's a cure for it because there's not a cure. You know what I mean? There's just not. I feel like there's ways to handle it, but even them things can be bad. Like the side effects outweigh the benefits.
Sure. Okay, so no one's ever been cured of the syndrome?
No, there's no cure.
No cure.
There's apparently, fuck off, you can get, electromagnetic brain therapy, which is pretty much they're going to shock your brain and hopefully it resets back to normal, hopefully. But the side effects of that is stroke. So fuck that.
Shit.
Fuck off. Hey, Caramel, go you cunt. I'll be ticky till the end, my friend.
Yeah, fair enough. Has there been situations where people have had Tourette's, but that's just stopped on their own without any treatment? They've just one day stopped.
I've heard that it can get better gradually through time. Like that's something my doctor did say to me, but I don't see that happening. Hey, I don't see that happening in my life personally. But I'm no fortune teller, mate. I can't read the future. Like, hopefully, like it could, but mate, I've been suffering for it since I was 16, mate. And
how old are you now?
It changes, but it's not getting better. 23.
23. Okay.
So like I've been through the adolescent side of it. I'm a man now, and it's still hurting. You know what I mean? Still there. Sure.
Yeah. So if you want to go into your childhood at all, I'm not sure if you do, but I was just sort of curious on the lead up to that. So tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Mate, again, I'll start off where really we used to move about it all that other stuff, but my mum passed away whenever I was 11 years old. And see, for me, that was losing one of the biggest part of my life. Like, all my tattoos on my right arm are for my mum. Every single one of them, mate. Not one of them is there. Well, bar this here, one. This is for her kids, my siblings. Each eye colour is one of our eye colours. It's the only one on this arm that's not for her. You know what I mean? The rest, there's an angel. Fuck off. There's an angel. There's a diamond with a crown on it because my mum loves poker. I mean, she's the queen of diamonds. You know what I mean? There's a lioness because she was the provider for my family. There's a crown that's got her date of birth in it in Roman numerals. And then there's going up to the stars in the universe, and there's a dove for symbolising her going off. Anyway, I'm going off myself. So
that's cool.
We lost her, and then my dad just kind of, my dad lost his lover, so he wasn't the same afterwards. You know what I mean? He started to rely heavily on weed, and on his girlfriend. Met a girlfriend about a year later, relied on her, and she wasn't all there to be my parent. You know what I mean? And I was in a bad place, mate. Like, fuck off. Hey, go. Folks, you see me training in the gym if you watch my social media in the MMA gym. I was a little shit whenever I was younger. I just wanted to fight. I was so angry that God had took my mum. I just wanted to fight everybody. Even before that, to be fair, I was just angry all the time. I always have been. There's a ball of anger within me. I can't explain it, mate. It's just there. And the gym gives me a way to outlook that. Because see, whenever I was younger, mate, I was about 13. I got in a fight with 12, mate. Got in a fight with one of my friends and he broke my knee. Shattered it 2 surgeries later. And I just, fuck off. Hey, from then I ended up leaving my dad to go live with my auntie because that happened in his house. And like I sat on the sofa for 3 days, unable to move without being took to hospital. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just didn't feel right. So like I said to my dad, right, listen, I need to go do my own thing. 13 years old, went and lived with my auntie. And she was very controlling over me. She didn't give me any freedom because she was scared social workers would take her off me. And it's like,
right.
just because you're scared doesn't mean that you have to control my life. Like, let me do normal kid shit. You know what I mean? Don't just fuck me about. So from fuck off. From then, my auntie actually ended up putting me in the gym because I was having fights outside. And she put me in the martial arts gym. And that was the best thing ever for me. Like, ever. It's instilled so much respect, discipline, and honour with it. Fuck off. Hey, go, you cunt. Fuck off, honour. Fuck off, you paedophile bastard. Not very honourable, but like it has instilled honour in me. Like I respect myself a lot because of it. You know what I mean?
Sure. And
I respect other people a lot because of it.
So you have some siblings as well?
Yeah, 4 big brothers, 2 big sisters.
So you're the
another
youngest.
brother James. He ended up getting he murdered suicide. The police left that there very strangely.
So did you say he was in a murder suicide?
He got stabbed. So pretty much he got stabbed, and the knife went all the way through to his spine. But the police just put it down as suicide.
Oh, what? And so, how old were you when this happened?
About 16.
Right.
15 maybe.
Right. And so, how long after that moment was it when your Tourette's syndrome sort of developed?
Bugs. Oh, fuck me, I couldn't tell you. I'd say a matter of months.
Right. So let me just do a real quick recap here. So, when you're about 11, your mum died. Things weren't so great at home after that with your dad and everything. You went to live with your auntie, but then over those years when you're doing martial arts and you had this ball of anger that was built up inside of you wanting to fight over that time, which you could release in the gym, your brother then dies when you're about 15, 16 from this situation. And then kind of not long after your Tourette's really started to develop.
Yep. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't like my full blood brother. He was my brother's brother. But they were still close enough to me. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
My niece and nephew was his niece and nephew. You know? So it's like family.
Would you say that as those years are increasing from when your mum died up until the Tourette's came out, could you feel pressure or anything building in you to that point?
Yeah, always, mate. Always pressure inside, mate. I'm like a diamond, mate, built from pressure. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Genuinely, mate. Like, I like pressure. That's why I do the social media stuff, mate. You know what I mean? It's pressure for me. It's like, fuck up. It's like, hey, it not only sets off my tics, but I've got to be the best Lewis Nickell possible whenever I'm on this. You know what I mean? I have to be good. You know what I mean? And I like that feeling. So I do this. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the fact. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
There you are.
You're not too bad
yourself. Give this man a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He's great at it. There you go. It comes in. We have another question from the king here, so let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, Lewis, sorry to hear about your mother passing when you were 11. That's such a young, tender age to lose something so precious in your life. But I wanted to say thank you for having the strength to share that story. I don't know if I would have been able to do that, what you did. And, you leave it with a smile on your face, and I know that would make her proud,
Oh, mate, thank you so much. That warms my heart.
Thank you, Elvis, for chiming in. Okay, so tell me about the day you kind of woke up and you said you were so energetic, you ran to wanted to run to school. this was kind of the first day you realized that maybe, well, you didn't know that you're going to have Tourette's syndrome, but you realized there was a change in you, and that pressure that was building, was this the day it released?
I don't think so, man. I just woke up and I felt different, completely different. I felt more energetic. I felt like the ADD had kicked off. You know what I mean? Like it had finally, boom, this is what it is. But like I had no idea back then because I was only 16. All I knew is my body was different. Everything was changing. I couldn't control my own shit. And for me, that was terrifying. Like all I could feel was kind of scared, worried. I actually broke down and started crying in class. And then that's whenever they said, right, let's get him the fuck out of here.
Right. So did anything happen like the day before, the night before you woke up like that, or you just woke up?
The night before we were doing the night before I can remember clearly we were in the gym. We were throwing knees at each other. I was holding the pad, and former world champion Mark Bailey, shout out to him, absolute animal, was kneeing the pad. That's what we were doing. I was in the gym the night before. The same shit that I did every day of the week.
Right. So nothing really different. You just woke up like that one day. Okay, so tell me then. So you went to school with your shoulder starting to tick.
Yep.
And then there was some concern. The teacher sent you home, or did you ask to go home? And then what developed from there?
I just kept telling the teacher, "Yo, this is weird. Why is this happening to me?" And the teacher just kept saying, just continue your day until it turned into the spasm. And then it was like it was like a scene from fucking E.T. I just got rushed out of the place. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's weird. I felt extraterrestrial
home and then
now.
to the hospital. Sorry?
Home went and got changed in out of my school uniform top because it was covered in sweat and tears. From there, they put me into a different t-shirt and rushed me in the hospital. I got kept in hospital for 5 weeks. They tried me on drugs. I got a plasma transplant done. Plenty of scans done. I've been to see psychiatrists. Got one of the top neurologists in the country looking after me, and he couldn't even help me because it's a very uncommon thing.
What's uncommon for your age, or uncommon for
Tourette's syndrome? The way it came on so aggressively, it was rare. Okay.
For most other people, does it come on slowly over a lifetime, or more from childhood? Or
more from childhood, it'll come on slowly.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And so, how long did it take for them to diagnose you in the hospital in that 5-week period? Was it 5 weeks of treatment, or was it 5 weeks of working out that you had Tourette's?
5 minutes of eliminating every possible thing. 5 weeks, 5 minutes, 5 weeks. I was like, caramel balls, you fucked it. Hey, I didn't fuck it. We're still talking. 5 weeks of just eliminating every other possible thing that it could have been.
Right. And so once the diagnosis came through that it was Tourette's, how did you feel from that point? Did you understand what it was then? And
no, I had not a clue. Because again, I got diagnosed as a chronic motor and vocal tick disorder. Try say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, damn. You're doing it well with Tourette's syndrome, so that's good.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
hey. But it was shit. That's what I got diagnosed as, but it's not what it was. Because it's a tick disorder as part of Tourette's syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And so when did the verbal tics start to come out? And in that time period too?
Verbal tics started to come out 2 weeks in the hospital, about a week and a half in the hospital.
Okay. And that's when like it's just unprovoked, spontaneous swearing will come out and things like that, right?
It started off with just hey. You just say, hey, fuck off, go, God. And then it then went into the other words, on the curse words, and then it went into like the sentences, which scare the fuck out of me. Still to this day, whenever I take out a sentence, it's terrifying. I don't understand it. It makes me laugh, but like I really don't get how my brain can do that to my body whenever I don't want it to.
You know, I have a question like that. So you know, as the words come out spontaneously, you know, like even though I'm speaking now, I'm not thinking of the words coming out, they're coming out, but in my mind I've got a picture of what I'm going to say, I guess, real in a split second. But for yourself, there is no warning, it just blurts out your mouth?
Well, there's a subconscious thing. We all have subconscious thoughts that slip into
Sure.
our conscious. It's just there's a filter in my head broken from keeping them in my head to blurting them out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, it's not necessarily something I'm thinking of. It's something the way my body reacts to what's around me. So if my
Right,
thought
right.
processes get boom, there's an unconscious thought there that's a cunt of a thought. Sometimes it just throws itself out there.
So, one of the things I'm wondering too is like, obviously when you hear people with Tourette's like tick, it's usually all swearing. Is it almost like when you said the filter's broken, just made me realize that all the words you're not supposed to say just come out. Is it pretty much that
I'll
situation?
correct you there, lad. It's usually not swear words. One in every
okay.
thousand. 1 in every 1,000 people with
Oh,
Tourette's
right.
have corporelia Tourette's, which is fuck off. Hey, go. Which is where it comes out of cuss words. Only
So
one in
only
every
one in
1,000.
1,000 people.
Only one in
Right.
1,000 of them, 1 in 100 of them that actually have Tourette's syndrome. Weird.
Right.
So it's a strange old thing, mate. Very rare.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying, mate. It's just they're the ones that get broadcast. They're the ones that people want to talk to because it's strange, it's different.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But mate,
Because that's
Tourette's
all I've
syndrome
seen, right?
comes
From when.
in.
Yep.
Mate, people
Yeah. So
can
when I
cough,
watch documentaries or
you
seen
know.
anything, it's all I hear, right? So I was under the assumption that that's what happens, but just good speaking to you now to know that that's actually quite a rare thing.
Yeah, it's a rare thing, mate. Most people with Tourette's syndrome, horrible. Hey, have like fuck off. Hey, have like little tiny twitches, like a wee clear throat,
Mm-hmm.
a wee like as your mom would say, a sneeze, a woo, a grunt. You know what I mean? Most people have something like that, but
Right.
it's a rare thing whenever the people. Fuck off, you've got someone shouting out full sentences or curse words or even any words in general, like. But
Yeah.
the cuss words, that's corporelia Tourette's. That's corporelia, I think, translates in Old Latin to potty mouth.
Oh,
You
right.
know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, I want to go back into how you said you were scared. It was scaring the shit out of you. But first, we have a message from Elvis again. So let's hear what he's got to say.
Hey guys, I'm really enjoying this podcast a lot. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. But I had a quick question for you again, Lewis. Does your neighbor's dog have Tourette's over there? Because he just won't shut the hell up. No, I do have a serious question. Are you able to drive? Does this restrict you from doing certain things in life that people without Tourette's could do? For instance, drive and things like that. Thank you.
So I've seen people with Tourette's that looks just as bad as mine drive. I ain't ever putting myself in that situation. Never. There's a course I can go do to see if I'm safe to do it, but I'm never fucking doing that course. I don't need to be behind the wheel. You know what I mean? I don't need to risk that shit.
Sure. I didn't even think about that. Even things like I noticed with your tick that you can move or you can hit yourself, right? What about things like shaving? Is that like a danger for you?
No, mate, no. I can shave. I suppose it's a danger, but I shave all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
Sure.
nah, I wouldn't say so.
Fair enough. Okay, so going back to the time where you said you started to blurt out full sentences, it started to scare the shit out of you, right? So what was like really going through your mind at that point, and what were you thinking about your future? What was your emotional state like that at that time?
Mate, see, whenever I came, all I wanted to do was fight, and all I wanted to do was teach. Fight and teach, mate. That's all I wanted. That's what I was doing. That was my job. I was in the gym. I was teaching kids jiu-jitsu. I was teaching kids kickboxing. I was teaching adults jiu-jitsu, teaching adults kickboxing. I was 16, and I was fighting myself. You know what I mean? That for me, that was my career path. I'd already arranged with the fuck off with the owner of that gym that I was going to get my business degree, and he was going to take me on and help me get a gym that I would own and I would run for him.
Right.
As soon as the tech started, that got stripped away from me. I was told you'll not be able to teach. We don't really want you in the gym for that there. Eventually, I was able to come back into the gym and do my own training. But I'll not be able to teach. I'll never pass a medical. You know what I mean? I can teach. I can pass a medical. I can fight and I can continue doing that dream. But at that
You can
time,
and
that's
have
what I
you
was
since
told.
then?
I've
Is it-
fought, yeah. I haven't had a fight. I'm on. Caramel, fuck off! I'm waiting to have a fight here very soon. Caramel,
Nice.
fuck off whenever. Hey, bollocks. I just need to keep showing up at my new gym and training every day, and as long as I keep doing that, I'll have a fight.
Excellent, man. That's great. I think I've got a
Someone's
message
shitting.
from
Fuck
Paul.
off. Go. Hey, bollocks. Someone's
I'm
shitting.
sorry, Paul. I'm not sure why you can't leave text messages on Fireside, but you're welcome to drop a voicemail here in the Chalmers group. That's totally fine, and I can play it for Lewis. Now, Lewis, so what was the weight like finding that out, and what point did you start to change and own it? Because if you said you got it around 16, I think I'd seen you 16 and a half, 17, first online doing those videos. When I first saw you, I was like, what an inspirational kid. Like, this kid's just fucking owned this. And I didn't know that you only just got it as well. Like, so here I'm thinking that you had it for a long time and then you stepped up, but pretty quickly you've turned around and you've owned it, man, and you've really turned it into something that's a positive here.
Thank you, bro.
What was that process?
Again, drugs they give me, I didn't like them. The way that they were telling me to handle it, I didn't like. The way the doctors were going about it and all that other stuff, I said no, that's not for me. Because I tried the medication, made me suicidal. I tried more medication, gave me lockjaw, fucked up my whole face. You know what I mean? And at that point in time, like, I just didn't really see much of another way, bar putting myself out there completely. Because, like, I lived in a place called Sydenham. It's an estate in East Belfast. Mate, I'm not sure if you know much about Belfast. It's not a very
Not a
kind
great
place
deal.
to live in.
Bit.
Little
Okay.
bit. Well, it's not. They're lovely people, mate. Lovely people, but it's not the type of place where you're going to get away with calling someone a cunt if they don't know you.
It's like the London of the UK, right? Or London of England.
No, mate, no, it's the Belfast of the UK, mate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
London's never had a war go on in its own city.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We have recently, you know. So it's like,
Right.
mate, it's run by gangs, mate. You know what I mean? That still think they own the show. You walk down every fucking street, there's a mural saying I will shoot you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's fucking
And this is where you
stupid, mate.
lived.
This is where I lived at the time. So, hey, fuck off. Hey, fuck, son, I still live in places like that today, mate. I live in a council estate in a different town, like, but exact same way it's run. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's just big men in groups thinking they're bigger. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent about that now, though. That's a different subject, mate. Fucking hate them. Some nice people. Oh, tangent, never mind. Harold, fuck off. Hey. Harold, go, you cunt. What? Fuck off. What did you ask me again, bro?
I just asked you, that's where you lived before, and you were telling me about the gang, so it's not a place you could really live walking down the street having tics
Yes,
like
mate,
this,
yes.
because you get yourself into trouble, right?
Right, so what I decided to do was, instead of being on the medication that they were giving me to suppress it, was to put it actually out there to the world. Come out of the closet, if you will, with my Tourette's. Because I was sick and tired of people judging me and taking the piss out of me. And, you know what I mean? I figured, you know what, they're going to do it anyway. And I've sat in the house here for 4 months being depressed about it. I'm going to put myself out there. And I put up one video of me reading Cat in the Hat, and it ended up getting 750,000 views.
Wow.
And
I was one of
like,
those
fuck.
views, man. I was
Hey,
one of those views.
double touch.
Fist bump, yeah, man. So,
So
yeah, no, that's great.
then it was like, fuck, guess I can leave the house now.
So I think like, I'm recalling way back now. It was so long ago, the comments, but besides some people having a laugh at the start too, you got a lot of positive
Yeah.
feedback from them for standing upright and doing this.
Yeah, but again, I'm not even saying that was the right thing for me to do, because again, putting out the videos give it all like a whole new fucking bundle of fish. You know what I mean? Like, everybody
mean by
wants mate, I get very paranoid. I'm a very paranoid person, and I smoked a lot of weed in my time, and that's another story, mate. Went through psychosis, my own mental health battle there just at the end of last year. Literally lost my mind. But I've become a very paranoid person. So, like, see the amount of people coming up to you trying to stop you and act like they already know you, and you've not a clue who they are, what they come from, what type of person they be. Mate, it's very mind rattling, and it's like the attention that you're getting isn't necessarily what you wanted. You know what I mean?
So would you take it all back if you could go back to
No.
that time and not put the videos up?
No.
So what positive have you got out of it, even though you realize maybe it wasn't quite what you wanted? There's some more positive in it than not, right?
Mate, I get messages every day from people telling me that I help them. From kids. Mate, there's a number on my phone for a kid in a wee town in Northern Ireland here. Hey, going through the same thing I'm going through, mate. Only he's going through it at a way earlier age. And, mate, he gets it worse than I do because of where he lives. You know what I mean? And because he's such a little kid, people don't expect him to come off with the shit that he's saying. You know what I mean? He's got kicked out of places, refused to eat some places. He got kicked out of gyms. He's been kicked out of places, mate. School's hard for him. And, mate, he looks up to me. He tells me I'm his hero. I would give him the confidence. I would give him a friend that you'll never lose. And, mate, see, for me, messages like that and being told that I can do that for people is enough for me to always continue doing this.
Yeah, so I guess I'm understanding your point of view, right? You did it to kind of overcome the situation and get it out there. You said they're going to laugh at me anyway, might as well do it and get it public, and you did, which allowed you to get one part of it behind you, right, and start moving forward. But then you realize there's a bit of a responsibility on you now, because like you're actually getting a lot of fame from this in a positive way, but then there's people that you can help too. So how do you feel about having those responsibilities now, kind of, being an advocate for Tourette's? Yeah,
pressure I wasn't ready for it.
Does it make it worse?
I was not ready for it because I didn't know how to. It doesn't make my tics worse. You know what I mean? But it makes my mental health a wee bit worse sometimes because I'm not a very fucking. Mate, as I say, bro, I grew up in council estates, mate. I'm not a very presentable person. You know what I mean?
Well, you're definitely a lovable guy, man. Look, there's people here definitely loving this, so. You're a lovable guy, man. Yeah, like I was really happy to be able to speak to you because obviously I feel like I've known you a lot more than you ever know me. This is the first time, or a couple of times we've spoken briefly, but the first real interaction. And yet when I jumped on, I felt like, I've known you for years, but I'm still a strange face to you. So you've definitely got that character and that flair. So that's great, man. So. Tell us a little bit about your mental state. So you say you feel the pressure and you're going through mental things. Is it part depression or is there any other sort of mental health issues?
My brain disorders up and down depression, mate. You know what I mean? It's another underlying factor of Tourette's syndrome. You ask anybody with a disorder, mate, they have definitely been in and out of depression quite a lot. You know what I mean? And right. I am in and out of depression, mate. My emotions are uncontrollable. I am up and down like a yo-yo. But that, mate, I found God whenever I was going through my psychosis. You know what I mean? Like God in turn has given me a lot more control over. He's not giving me a lot more control. He's just giving me a lot more patience to deal with it. And someone they always turn to and will always be there for me.
Sure.
So that tells me a lot. I don't think God's gonna cure my Tourette's. You know what I mean? I had someone text me the other day saying God will cure your Tourette's. I don't think he's ever gonna do that for me. The way I see it, he cursed me with it. You know what I mean? But he's also gifted me with a personality to be able to see to be able to see the positive side of anything in life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
and as much as you could say it's a curse, do you think in one way it's a blessing? I mean, how has your life shifted from obviously the Tourette syndrome coming out first and up until this point now with the kind of hype that you get on social media and things like that, the awareness that you're bringing, is it still a curse for you? And with what you've got going on in your life now today with maybe people that you're helping, would you still like to go back and change it?
See, to be fair, mate, I do personally always think it's a curse because it's literally losing control of yourself, mate, completely. Your physical and your vocal. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, fuck off. Go. It's like, I'll always see it as a curse. But you're not wrong as well, mate. I didn't really think about it like that our way. It's also a gift. Like, in fact, I've said that's a gift and a curse. But I didn't think that it was a blessing because of everything that I've received with it. And I suppose you're completely right, mate. I have been blessed because of the way that it's been handled. But I also understand that there's a lot of people that wouldn't handle it the way I have.
Sure.
You know?
And so
like, to them, it's always going to be just a curse.
Yeah, I understand the curse part for you because it's like we always want to be in control, right? Of ourselves at the very least, and so that part will always be there. But yeah, at the same time, again, this responsibility you didn't expect us to step up, and it's like a whole new thing that was just you were unaware of that's happening that is here now. And look, I think you're right when you say not everyone handles it like you do. I think you're actually a damn positive guy, and the way that you're doing it, man. So I have a couple of questions from Elvis, and I think from someone else. Let me just take these for you. Here we go.
Hey, Lewis, I think the pressure you feel, you got to turn that into encouragement, because you are who you are now because of who you've always been. So if you just keep being who you are and be true to yourself, you're never going to fall, man. And you are an inspiration to people. Anybody that has anything, they can just replace it, Tourette's syndrome, with whatever they're going through, or whatever ailment they have, or anything that they feel is holding them back. You're an inspiration to everybody, man. I appreciate that. Don't feel pressure from it. Feel proud from it.
There you go. He's a wise man, this guy. I'm telling you, he's one of my best friends, man. I met him through doing all this social audio stuff. So he's always got good advice. He's got another question here. So,
Lewis, I have to disagree with you slightly on that. I don't think God cursed you with Tourette's. I think He gave that to you to give you something to stand out from the crowd. You've turned it into such a positive thing. It's amazing. It's really, really a blessing to see somebody with the grasp of the whole situation the way that you have at such a young age of 23. I was there a long time ago, and I didn't have a handle on life nearly as good as you do. One thing you got to remember is God doesn't send a perfect person to do a job, but He does send the perfect person for the job. And I think that's you doing what you're doing right now, man. God bless you.
Yeah, thanks, Elvis.
Cheers, bro. Cheers. He meant nothing but love, but there is no perfect people. No one's perfect, mate. Everybody fights battles. Everybody's got demons. And that's why I'm saying, mate, that my curse is Tourette's syndrome, mate. My demon is Tourette's syndrome. I'm like, mate, that it just is. I can't see it any other way, bro. It is a blessing. You aren't wrong, but like, it happened for a reason, because God wanted it to happen. And God's the only perfect thing, mate. He don't make mistakes, but doesn't mean that He fucking give it to me because I did well. You know what I mean? I like to hope so anyway.
All right, Lewis, so tell me what happened from when you started making that post and you got 750,000 views, and then things started to go up from there, right? You started getting calls to be on TV shows and things like that for interviews and stuff like that, right?
Mate, it's like, mate, old friends come out of the woodworks, people you haven't spoke to in a long time, mate. Everybody's wanting to get involved with this new thing of yours, Everybody wants a wee bit of control over it because they see benefits with it,
Sure.
And I don't blame it, mate. Like, fucking attracted people to me. And I just fuck off. Hey, I was so young and so fuck off, so kind of wanting friends and wanting people in my life. Because, like, again, mate, I lived with my auntie, and she had been too controlling over me up until that time. Like, mate, she grounded me one day. I don't even give a fuck, mate. I tell the story. She grounded me one day for 2 weeks for coming home high. But then she used to send me out to go get her weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
makes no sense.
The fuck? You know what I mean? So grounding me for 2 weeks, and like, mate, I'm going through enough shit. I don't want to be on my own. You know what I mean? So like, grounding me and forcing me in my bedroom, no phone, no nothing for 2 weeks. No, it's not happening. So for me, I just said, fuck this, I'm away. I'm away to live with my sister. Went to go live with her. Again, my other brother, I was 16, mate. 17, sorry. 17 at that point. My other brother, he was homeless too. And he had her sofa while I slept on the armchair for about 2 months. And it was fucking hard, mate. You know what I mean? From then, fuck off. Hey, from then, fuck off, you cunt. Go. I ended up getting fuck off the opportunity to go on Stephen Nolan. Even before that, though, I'd won a Heroes of the Year award, and I had no idea what the fuck I did to win it. You know what I mean? It was just people took inspiration from the videos, and I was continuing to make them because I took happiness from the people watching. You know what I mean? And all the positivity that they come from it, mate. I was happy to be a part of that. So anyway, I went on Stephen Nolan Live, which was the big TV show that I went on. And you fat fuck, hey, pretty much I've called the host of it a fat fuck for an entire 10 minutes, and everybody loved it, so it went nuts. And I can't go anywhere by saying, "Oh, you're the boy of Stephen Nolan," and I'm like, "Yes, that's me. I'm Lewis." You know what I mean?
This is the excuse me. This is the post you just put up again recently on your Instagram, right?
Yep, I did a reaction video.
Is that the post when you were back on there?
Yep.
On that show, yeah. And you were still young, 16, 17. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Very young for all that there to be going on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I felt like I was ready. So anyway, mate, going from that TV show, I went back to my auntie's house to sleep on it. Went back to my sister's house to sleep on an armchair. You know what I mean? After about another couple of months of doing that there, I ended up saying, "Fuck this, I'm going to go live with my dad again." So I phoned up my dad, went to live there, because he had came and seen me whenever I was in hospital and stuff. We just hadn't really seen much of each other, you know? So I asked him, could I live back with him, and he said yes. He accepted me in both arms. I was already smoking weed at this point, and he was a full-time stoner. So, like,
right.
It kind of helped us bond a lot, you know what I mean? It gave us that there thing that we had in common. Fuck off, hey, let's go. But also back to the whole gangster side of things. A lot of gangsters in and out of his house over the years, you know what I mean? A lot of people that weren't necessarily good for me to be around coming in and out. So it's another crowd of people that's getting to see me, and they just felt awkward. So my dad ended up getting evicted from his house, and from him getting evicted, I was homeless again, and I found this out while I was on a residential. So I was away with my friends to this place that we were in Newcastle somewhere. We were there, and then that had all happened, and my dad got evicted, and this is actually how I got Scruff. Scruff, do you want a treat? So Scruff was our family dog. And fuck off. My dad had him for the 6 years that I didn't live with my dad, and then because my dad got evicted, he was literally going to go homeless to sleep on the streets with Scruff. Scruff, come on, reach. And then I ended up getting a house pretty quickly because I've been on social services lists, and then I'm on benefit and disability and stuff. So because of all that there, it did well for me to get an emergency house, especially the social services side of things, because I was a young, vulnerable kid, you know? So they got me a house pretty quickly, and I'm still in that house today. It's an emergency house for homeless people, and I'm hopefully going to be out of there by the end of the year. Well, by the end of the next couple of months, I'd like to be out of there.
And where will you go? What will happen from there? And I have a couple of questions actually from Elvis that are written questions too. One of them is do many people in Ireland have Tourette's syndrome? And if so, do they have any Tourette's support groups that you can hang out with?
The wee boy that I was talking to earlier, I've met one kid before him with Tourette's syndrome. I went to dinner with him, and that was Tourette's Alliance. There is people out there, but at the same time, it sets me off being around people with Tourette's, and it does. Hey, fuck off! It does the same for them around me. I know it does.
All right.
So like, just very stressful putting yourself in that their position, but at the same time, it needs to be done. It's that good pressure that needs to happen. So I'm. There's Tourette's awareness too that the wee man Declan's mum sorts out, Louise. She is another support up north, and as far as down in Ireland, I don't know. Like in the south of Ireland, I don't really know. No one from there has reached out to me, and I haven't really seen anybody from down there to reach out to.
Okay. We also had a message that came up from Zoe Yinks at the on the screen, and I've lost it now. Let me see if I can find the chat. No, I can't. But it did say that thank you for talking about this as well, because it's inspirational to know exactly the process and everything. So she's giving a thank you as well for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to me.
We also had Mr. Bombastic, who's joined the room as well. He's actually from the UK. He's well aware of who you are. He's been following you as well for a long time, so he might chime in to say hi too.
What about you, bro?
So, what sort of help do you get from the government over there for these situations? So, you obviously got a home pretty quick to look after you when you were young. Are there like other benefits that you can get from the government to assist you along? Is that what you've been living on? Is it hard to get a job with this sort of syndrome as well? Or
I work in KFC now at the minute, as you've probably seen. Only reason I got that job is because my brothers both work there. I've had a job in David James Kerr, which is a Stone Island shop, where they only used me for publicity. You know what I mean? Right. They give me an opportunity, but they only give me an opportunity at like promoting their business because of my background, because of my social media platform. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Fuck off, mate. Hey, I worked in another place called Pickley Park. Again, only reason I got the job is because my family worked there. Anywhere else I've ever applied for a job, I have not got. I've applied to volunteer at charity shops. They still don't get back to me. Right. You know what I mean? So I admit, the government give me money to support me. Pretty much, it's monetary stuff. You got you got PIP, and then you've got sickness. Sickness helps me with getting a house, so that's the reason I've got this house, is because I'm on the sickness benefit.
Okay.
Without that, I'd still be homeless.
All right. We do have a message here from Zoe.
Do they not have anything like that over in Oz?
Sorry?
Do they not have benefits over in Oz? Or is your government
we do.
Just leave it all to it?
We do. I'm unsure of what it was like over there for Tourette's, or here even as well, but there will be some benefits for sure. Australia's pretty good like that. I think the UK is in general as well, you know, so of course there'll be benefits. I just wondered what it was like for you and how much you kind of get. Is it enough to survive? Do you struggle with it?
Peter wouldn't ask you that question, mate.
What's that?
The Peters wouldn't ask Peter, fuck off. Hey, bro, the police wouldn't ask me that question, mate. To be fair, mate, I'm probably, because I've started making money off Facebook now. Like before, mate, I used to make chump change of Facebook and YouTube, even though my views were a lot better. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the mindset behind me or a platform behind me to be able to actually, or the motivation or the want to use it as making money. It was all just about, I suppose, building myself up. You know what I mean? For my own.
You've got the numbers behind you. I think that'd be great if you utilize that using social media for an income. I think it's like perfect for you. You've got the personality.
That's what I started to do. That's what I started to do anyway. Like I didn't do it before because I didn't want to, and I didn't have the motivation to. But now I've got nothing but motivation and aspiration and goals that I want to achieve. And like, hey, and one of them is being on social media, so I'll use it for that. Like, and maybe make a career out of it. The streaming's going real well.
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying. We should talk after this, and like, let me help speak with you about maybe setting up a Patreon with different levels, and you can do some different things, man, and actually earn an income doing what you're doing here right now, because you're that sort of guy for it. I really truly believe that, man. So if you want help,
100%, we'll link up after it,
I'm
man.
the guy that can try and help you.
Yeah, Patreon's the thing that like I set up, but I didn't know how to use.
Sure. I'm literally setting mine up right now as well, but I'm literally figuring it right out. We can do it at the same time, man. It's not a problem at all. So, yeah, for sure, brother. Because I think you're doing it anyway. You're doing it anyway on Facebook and Instagram. Your Facebook's pretty big. I think you got like 800,000 followers or so, right, on Facebook.
Mate, since I started doing streaming, mate, it went down to 790 something. Like it was like
since you started streaming, it went down.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I've gained like 4,000 new followers, but I've lost like 12,000, 13,000. It's going down every day. Right. It's just people that people that only wanted to watch me to see Tech Boy. They didn't want to watch me do dishes. They didn't want to see my actual life and what that's like. You know what I mean? Okay. They didn't give a fuck about that. Sure. They only wanted to see me read nursery rhymes.
We could structure it for you, like help you get it structured so that you are doing lives at certain times and people can subscribe to. And there's a few things we could do that we could talk about off air, But man, I'd love to help you out. I don't want a damn thing out of it except just to help you out, So if it helps you get a leg up somewhere, then that's great.
Lot of love to you,
man.
bro.
For sure, brother. For sure. I've got some good people around me, man. That really helpful to some of these people in the audience, which is great. They're great supporters and true friends that we've made online for a long time. So yeah, I've got good support that I can try and help pass on. So we do have a voicemail here. Here we go.
Well, I think there's no reason why you shouldn't be making a good living on social media, man. I'm a fan. I've subscribed to you on all the platforms, and I look forward to hearing more from you. Thanks again for doing this podcast, man. It's fun, funny, and informative. It's great. I'm learning a lot and laughing a lot too. Appreciate it.
Fuck off. I'm glad. Hey, fuck off, you bitch. Go. I'm glad. No, don't fuck off. Stick with us. It's going to be good crack. Mate, nah, I'm glad you're having fun. I'm glad you're learning a little bit of something too. And the only reason I didn't make money is because I didn't treat it like a job, because I didn't want to work as being a social media person, because I didn't see the fun in it. You know what I mean? All the fun of my life kind of got stripped out of my life for a long time. Like,
Sure.
From losing my mum to coming all into Facebook to drinking a lot to doing a lot of shit that I didn't even want to do, but just doing it because people wanted to see it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Smoking a lot of weed suppresses any good feeling. Shit, what else? I was with a very toxic ex-girlfriend that controlled the shit out of my life. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, she was nothing but positive whenever it came to social media stuff, but negative whenever it came to everything else that made me happy. You know what I mean? What else? I don't know. I'll tell you.
Oh, look, dude, and from when you jumped on social media, 6-7 years ago with this, the way that social media has moved along the way has just been crazy, right? So, like, now's the time. Now's the time. If you say you're losing people because they want to see the nursery rhymes and you're not ticking out, you know what? If they're going to pay you, fucking read the nursery rhymes and tick out. Like, it is what it is, right? So, I mean, give the audience what they want to hear.
For a second, mate, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Could you still hear me?
No, I didn't hear you whenever you froze.
Okay. I said basically how social media has moved forward so much now, and you said you've lost listeners because you're not reading the nursery rhymes like you used to, and because they just wanted to see you tick out and they're like leaving. But at the end of the day, if you're setting up something where you're getting paid for it and they want fucking nursery rhymes and you tick out, they just fucking do it. It's like a job, right? And but you're in the hot seat, man. You're getting to do this sort of like what so many people dream to do, doing on social media and getting paid for that. So yeah, man, if you read a few books here and there and they're paying it, that's just my opinion. But, you do what makes you comfortable. You might feel a different way about that. But I certainly think it's like...
I'm okay. Hey, go ahead, balls. Not that I'm okay to do it. I'm not a very good fucking reader, mate. It embarrasses me.
Right, okay. But there's other things to do too, right? There's other things we can come up with for you.
But at the same time, mate, I don't care, mate. I push past embarrassment, mate. You know what I mean? It makes me who I am. It's just, I don't want to just be remembered as the boy that fucking read nursery rhymes, It's just not what I want.
Sure, there's a whole bunch of things you can do, right? Yeah. But
mate, see this here podcasting, mate, I feel like I'm good at getting people to talk.
You feel like what, sorry?
I feel like I'm good at getting people to talk. You know what I mean? And I'm good at talking.
Yeah.
So, like, if I can do something like that there, mate, I'm sweet. Like,
you are, man, and it surprises me. I was just going to say before, I didn't mean to cut you off, but is that I'm surprised to hear that you get embarrassed about these things, because really looking from the years I've been seeing you, it doesn't look like embarrassment. It looks like ownership. Like it looks like confronting these things, and I wouldn't have thought that at all. So it was a surprise for me to hear that just before.
Yeah, man, 100% it's embarrassing, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like 800,000 people beg to differ, if they're on social media following you for it, brother. So that's huge, man. Come on.
Don't get me wrong, mate. I definitely see like that I can own my Tourette's, but mate, there's definitely like I should be better at fucking reading. I'm 23 years old.
That's okay, man. There's a lot of grown people that struggle to read. So frozen up. I can see it's frozen. We may have lost him for a second here. There we go. I got you back.
Hey, yippa, we're back in business, baby.
If any of the listeners want to ask any questions, please feel free to chime in. You can send a 1-minute voicemail to my Instagram and we'll play it through here for Lewis to hear. Show your support, ask away. We do have a question here from Mr. Bombastic. good friend of mine from the UK. He's got a voice like God because he's probably got such big balls. So listen to this. Here we go.
Hey, Rock. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hey, Lewis. Absolute pleasure to hear your voice again. Been following you for a long time. I think you're brilliant. Sorry about the Old Farm game yesterday, but I'm a Celtic fan, so yeah. But I just wanted to say pretty much, I don't really have a question. Like, you're really, really humble considering, you know, quite a big following. I've been following you for ages on Facebook and YouTube. That, you know, you're not necessarily doing it, I need to make money. Like, from the beginning, I didn't know that you weren't making that much money, so well done, sir. But yeah, you're brilliant. You deserve to get something out of what you do. And I hope Rock really does help you to do it. Top man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm not much of a fan of Scottish football, mate, because over here it gets turned politically and like, fuck that shit, it bores me. So, so fair play if Celtic won, fair play if Rangers won. Really doesn't change my life at all. But again, mate, mate, there's not much money to be made from this at the start, mate. But I suppose there is now, mate, and Rock's going to help me get there, mate. I'm very appreciative and very accepting of the help.
Yeah, thank you. Look, there's someone I want to approach for myself as doing some certain things too, and I'll just ask if they can do it for us and maybe another person I'm thinking of too, because we can all collaborate with things separately. Like, this is for you. I don't want anything out of it, but the same person I can ask maybe can help you and can help me on my own thing too. So yeah, we'll definitely talk
what it's about.
We've got
creators, mate.
Sorry?
We're all artists in a way. Like, you know what I mean? We all create things that are
this is my
for
craft,
people to
man. I
enjoy.
love this. This
mate,
is a passion of mine, man.
And mate, you help artists help artists. You know what I mean? Creators help creators. That's the only way to grow. You know what I mean? Like, fuck off. You can manage shit on your own for so long, mate. But you want to get branched out, you want to get bigger, you want to get better, and you just want to be healthier and happier about what you do. Be around people that do the same thing.
100%, man. I totally agree with you. We've got a message from Elvis. Here we go.
Hey, Lewis, I got to be honest with you. I tuned in to see Lewis Qball Nickell, the guy with Tourette's. Now I find myself just wanting to watch Lewis Qball Nickell, you know, and the Tourette's is just kind of a bonus. Honestly, I think it adds to your character, and it makes you who you are, and that's what I'm interested in. I want to see who you are instead of a guy with Tourette's. So, you know, I didn't chime in and tune in to laugh at you, but I tuned in because of the Tourette's thing. But now I'm wanting more of the personality guy, you know? The person you are is what people are really interested in, I think, anyway.
Well, I just ticked fuck off that even the president's sister-in-law, who, like, we're hoping she doesn't come up and start baiting me with a stick.
That's cool, man. Elvis is cool. He understands. It's all right.
Don't hit me.
We've got another message from Mr. Paul Vardo.
Class. I'm just happy Elvis wants to actually see me and not Tick Boy. But at the same time, mate, I am Tourette's. Tourette's is me. You know what I mean? It's we come hand in hand.
Sure. We've got a message from Paul Vardo. Here we go.
Hello, this is Mr. Vatastic, and my question to you is, have you ever used the N-word? And if you have not,
fuck off,
then I think that maybe Tourette's is fake, because you're very selective in the swear words that you use, because it's so easy to use the word cunt. What a beautiful, great word.
That's a beautiful word.
So, yeah, let me know. Is Tourette's real, or is it just an excuse to do bullshit to people? All right, thank you.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Probably, Caramel, fuck off. I probably have ticked the N word. Caramel, nigger, fuck off. Okay. Caramel, I've definitely ticked the N word once or twice. But again, it's not something Caramel, fuck off, you cunt. Nigerian, hey. Hey, fuck off. It's not something that everybody would do. Again, I'm doing that now because you've just brought it up. I wouldn't be walking about shouting nigger if I see Caramel, fuck off if I see a black person. Like, it's just not the person I am. I'm not racist. You know what I mean?
Sure.
For someone to say that Tourette's syndrome is fake because of that, no offense, Paul, but you sound like a dickhead.
He was,
it is.
Putting it out there, yeah.
But
So,
this is it. Nobody's got to tick what you think they should tick. You know what I
mm,
mean? You don't understand Tourette's syndrome and that very well, mate. That's why I'm here to try help you. But no one just ticks what you expect them to tick. I've ticked bisexual racehorse before, and that has fuck all to do with anything. It just randomly comes out. You know what I mean? Doesn't
sure.
mean doesn't mean that somebody's Tourette's is fake because they don't tick the M word of the black person.
Mm.
It makes no
No, I think
sense.
I think he was saying it's a perfect excuse to take the piss out of someone if you want to. You know what I mean? Like he's saying it as a joke to use Tourette's.
Yeah,
As like, I want to call that guy that beautiful word cunt, and he's coming in with that. So yeah,
mate,
there
I
we
just
go.
be sound and call him a cunt. You know what I mean? You don't need to sit there. And
We
try
say
to
it as a
fake
term of
disability to
endearment
get
here from
there.
Australia. We call our best friends
What?
cunts, right?
It's
said we use
the
it as a-
Americans, mate. It's the fucking Americans, bro. Don't get me wrong. I love you. These are fucking mad. But like, damn, just say the word. Just say it. You know, damn. Hey, go.
All right, we got another message from Elvis here. Here we go.
Hey, Lewis, when is that bisexual racehorse going to run? And what's his number? I'm going to put some money on that one. Just curious.
Oh, fuck's sake, Elvis. Oh, hey, go. I don't know, mate. I bet on the Grand National once and won once. My granda put 50p on for me.
All right, so just going back to it a little bit, like as we start to tail off with it, right? So, in your life up to current date, now let me ask this instead: if you could go back before you
Hey,
had any problems with
go.
Tourette's syndrome, and you could be given the things that you needed for your life to not go through this, what would that be? Would it be like more security or comfort, or these are the sort of things? What emotions or things did you
do you
require
mean?
as a child that you maybe think would have maybe stopped this from happening?
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know,
Sure.
mate. It's not my life.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shit, I couldn't tell you, mate. It's been my life that made this happen, and I wouldn't change my life for anything. I couldn't tell you what mate. I would have just loved to have my mum.
Sure.
It's literally the
Yeah.
only thing that comes into my head, mate.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but at the same time, that's never gonna happen. I have to wait till I die to be reunited with her.
And what are you hoping or expecting or working on for the future?
Mate, I'm training every day. I want to fight in the UFC within 5 years, mate. Unrealistic goal, mate, but I will get there eventually. Like, I want to continue creating mirrors that I'm doing. I want to continue creating art. I want to continue creating videos. I want to continue. I don't know. Fuck off. I want to be a creator, mate. I want to work at myself. I want to be my own boss. And again, I want to help people as well, mate. I can't emphasize that enough. I want to actually use my platform for something good.
Sure. You've been doing that already, but it's just if you want to do that even more, I'm sure there's going to be ways to do it. But I've got to say that
Mate,
I know
I've been doing
I've
it to help
seen
me for a long
comments.
time, mate. I want to use it just to help everybody, not just me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I want to
Sure.
use it to help. Like the way you brought me on here to help you and to help me. You know what I mean? I want to
Yep,
bring, like,
yep.
there's a guy I'm in talks with MS. I've told him that,
Mhm.
like, whenever I have a platform up and going, ready to go for a podcast, mate, I want to bring him on and get him to talk about his life, what type of struggles
Absolutely.
he's had, spread his story. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I can
Sure.
do that, mate. I have an audience that would be really happy to sit and listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great
You know?
idea.
And if it makes him
That's
feel
great.
better just to get a story across, mate, I'd be happy to share my platform.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think that's a good idea, man. We'll definitely talk more offline because I've already got like half a dozen ideas for you right now. So that'd be good if we can incorporate them. You know, yeah. Look, there's a little bit of work
Love
setting this
that,
stuff
mate.
up, but
You're
once it's set
creative,
up, you
man.
just go for gold.
Kinda like myself.
Yeah. All right, we got another message from the King.
Well, hey, man, I'm going to offer my creative services to you there, Lewis. If you want to do any collaborations, just like Rocstedi, I don't want anything from it except for success for you and, some laughs for everybody. Because I don't do this for a living. I do this for fun. And I think me and you could have a lot of fun if we put our heads together. So, just putting it out there for you, buddy.
Well, cheers, mate. I appreciate the help. I will just say this. with Tourette's syndrome, you get slight OCD, right? And I like to have control, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard bringing other people involved, you know what I mean? But I'm always willing to let go of that if it's going to progress me and help others. Always, if it's going to help others and me, I'm always willing to do it. At least now I am anyway. Because like that's what we're all here for, to help each other.
He's a great guy, obviously, as well. So he means what he says too. Like when he if he says he's there to help with ideas and stuff, he's a pretty creative person. So he definitely throws some things your way.
Because I don't like people that say things just to say things, mate. I like people that say things to do things.
Sure, 100%.
You know what I mean? There was an Eminem there. You think I'm saying this shit just to be saying it, just to be thinking it, just to be saying it? Confusing as fuck. But that's the way I feel about people who say things and don't do what they're meant to do. You know what I mean? They're confusing. Why even waste your breath telling me? Yeah, but Elvis still seems fine. He seems like a good positive character.
Sure. So, listen, I was going to ask if anyone wanted to come up from stage to talk to you for a couple of minutes as well. Do you want to have a guest or two pop up on stage and speak with you here?
Jump on, boys. Jump on. Me and Scruff's here.
All right, who wants to come up for a couple of minutes? By all means. I think the king wants to do that. So I'll get him up here first. There we go.
Yeah.
And we've got Paul. So there's a couple of people here who want to speak to you. Say hi. Maybe ask their own questions in real time instead of through voicemails. But welcome. We've got Paul Vado. We've got Elvis.
Hey, what's going on? What's
the story, boys? Jump on. Let's get talking.
Hey, Lewis, I did have a question for you. The name Qball, where'd you get that from?
Mate, I am small, white, and hard as fuck.
Perfect. Right.
No, I wasn't joking. So my sister, the one that I was with today, Rock, whenever I was on FaceTime, she offered me £100 to shave. Fuck off, go balls. Fuck off to shave my head bald. And you okay, Scruff gagging. She offered me £100 to shave my head bald, and my friends were around me at that time, and they said that I look like a cue ball from pool because I'm a big shiny white head. And so that's how that bollocks. Hey, that's how that nickname stayed.
I'm a little short on rent this month. Does your sister want to challenge me to do that same thing? I'll send her a picture of it.
Nah. She probably won't ever. Well, she would do it, but I'm hoping she never shaves anybody's head again.
All right. Well, I've enjoyed everything you said, man. This has been a hell of a podcast. It's been fun and like I said, informative. I appreciate. Thanks for sharing all the life stories too, man. That's what people really love to hear is the truth and stories about your life. Interesting character, and thanks for sharing.
Mate, to be an honest man, there's no point in bullshitting about it. Like, it's my life, mate. I'll always be open and honest about it, mate. Just as long as people want to listen.
Yeah, that's good, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time to listen.
Oh yeah, my pleasure, definitely. Paul, get off mute, will you? Say something. Get this gentleman all the way here from the UK.
I've never heard Elvis be so sincere and genuine in any of his questions. So congratulations. Hey. My question is, how did they name you Lewis?
That was actually a fucking awesome question. There's a good wee story behind it. So my nanny on my dad's side, one of her middle names was Louise or Louis or something like this. So I just got Lewis for short. You don't want to know in fact, I'll tell you, my middle name is Edmund. Edmund. Oh, he's some posh shit for a council estate boy, like.
Well done, boy. Well done. It's very hard for me. I'm from Chicago, where we don't have an accent. So it's very hard for me to understand.
You only think you don't have an accent. No, I'm from Belfast, where none of us speak like we're from Chicago, but that's what your accent sounds like. You know? Like, go on, Paul, give it your best Northern Irish go.
Oh, wait, mate! I already did. I can't wait. I want to come visit. I want to come visit you and swear at people and get away with it.
No, mate, I'll get away with. You'll get slapped. Over here, mate, you can swear at anybody over here, just as long as you're being nice about it. If you're being a dickhead, we've very good radars and senses. You know what I mean?
Very
over here.
streetwise people over there.
Oh, mate, you gotta be, mate. You gotta be.
Yeah.
It was all
Well,
about respect. At the end of the day, we like to show respect to each other, and like we like to receive respect. And like, if I feel like I'm losing it, then fucking gotta earn it back.
Yeah. That's exactly it, man. It's you got to treat people the way you want to be treated, and only friends can bust each other's balls like that and call each other cunts.
You know the score, man. You know the score. Here, I'm gonna keep this down here so you can hear me after.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to visit Ireland. I've never been, but you know, as a Mexican American, and I don't. You probably know this, but in Mexico, there's in Garibaldi Plaza, there's a statue dedicated to the St. Patrick's Brigade, who came over from Ireland to fight against America. You know, on the Mexican side. So obviously, there's this great history between. And it has
Irish doing anything against the British, isn't it?
The fucking oppressors.
Can you blame them?
Yeah.
So Lewis,
I can't, mate. I'm British, so like if I say that, then it sounds offensive to my people. But at the same time, I'm from this beautiful place in called Northern Ireland, right? So we get an option. We can be Irish, we can be British, we can be Northern Irish, we can be anything that we want to be, mate. In this wee magical land.
Are you Catholic or Protestant?
I'm Protestant, mate. Brought up Protestant. Although I don't see a difference between Catholic or Protestant, I just say I'm Christian. Because at the end of the day, they both believe in one God. They both believe in Jesus Christ. And yeah, you know what I mean? I'm a Christian man.
Is it true that if you go in the wrong bar and order Tullamores or Jameson, you're going to get in a fight?
Mate, it depends what way you go in. And it depends if you're welcomed or not. If you can't, hey, and who you go in with. You know what I mean? I can go into a bar. Well, I'd like to hope I can go into a bar in the Shankle Road and go into a bar in the Falls Road and be welcomed in just as gradually because I'd invite both into my bar. You know what I mean? I went to a Catholic primary school, but it was an integrated school, so Protestants were allowed to go there.
Oh, wow.
Wait. You guys consider integrated schools between Catholic and Protestant? That's integration in Ireland?
Yeah.
Of course it is, man. That's the only two kinds of people to have there, Christians or Christians.
What's integrated in America?
Black kids and white kids back in the 60s.
I see. We don't see color, we just see faith.
Yeah.
Saying that, though, it's mad, mate. It's mad. Over here, they had that there, and well, in Britain anyway, they had no blacks, no dogs, and no Irish. You know what I mean? I got a black dog that's Irish.
So Lewis, I just want to say that Paul is a actor and comedian. He's going to be on a comedy show tonight in the US time, and Elvis created rock and roll, so you know him. But we've also got Deborah's just joined the stage. Welcome, Deborah. There's something you want to ask Lewis.
Yes, I'm good. Hi. I don't know why there's no women coming up here, but anyway, I've got the balls.
Welcome, madam.
So, that's what we love, a woman with balls.
Thank you. I've got great balls. Okay, so so anyway, I'm going to take that quote with me all day. I don't see color, I just see faith. That is great. I don't see color, I just see faith. Okay. What I wanted to ask you, though, seriously, is like, when were you diagnosed? And as a baby, was this happening? And what were you saying?
Oh, Deborah, you showed me late, didn't you?
Yeah, you should come in late. So we went through all that, and you came in late because we came.
Oh
went through
shoot!
that.
Oh, so
okay.
I missed it. Don't answer it.
No. It's all good. I'll answer it.
Yeah, go for it.
So I was diagnosed at 16 with my tics disorder. But again, after a year of that being what it was, they then class it as Tourette's syndrome. But I believe in my heart that I've had Tourette's syndrome my whole life. But the tics didn't come out until I was 16.
And do you? I'm sorry if I've made everything very serious, but I'm very
okay. No, it's fine.
Okay, I'm very curious. Are there meds for this?
Hey, fuck off. Yes, there are meds that will help suppress your tics, but they will also suppress your dopamine levels, which are the happiness that comes from your mind, the chemical that brings happiness to you, and joy for the word. And
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you're happy ticking. This is fantastic. I didn't know that.
Well,
thank you.
Maybe happy ticking. I'm not happy about it.
but you're saying your dopamine.
All I'm saying is the tablets that they put you on will suppress your dopamine levels, so it will in turn not only stop you ticking, but it will also put you into depression. Well, that's what it did to me anyway.
Wow,
like
thank you.
antidepressants. Yeah, that kind of masks all feelings, right? Happiness, anger, sadness. So as much as it might stop him ticking, he kind of feels numb.
Well, your ticking has brought me a lot of happiness.
Hey,
That's it.
yo, hey,
So-
that's what we're like.
You're spreading the dopamine around, man. Being generous with it today, too.
I've got enough to share, you know what I mean?
I'll take it, man.
Two fat queers. Sorry, I have Tourette's.
Stop it. That's my TikTok page. He's quoting my TikTok page because it's called
right.
Two Fat
I wonder what was going on.
fucking dicks.
Yes, I was.
Go ahead. Fucking fat fucking dicks.
Race horses.
Your Tourette's comes out very slow.
It really does. I mean, I feel like I kind of do have it, but I suppress it because I obviously it's an homage to Deborah, Two Fat Queers, and I'm just promoting her TikTok. But
Stop it.
yeah, but like I feel like I have it, and I want to say horrific things about people, but I don't. But that's probably not true.
Are you
Then
drunk?
that's not Tourette's, mate. That's
Paul's
just
drunk.
being a dick.
You took the words right out of my
You said
mouth.
that earlier. It's very
I was just
offensive.
gonna say, that's
Like
just your inner
Tourette's, mate, you
animal
just
wanting to
don't want
speak
to
out.
shout bad things at people, mate. My most common tick
I
is
do.
caramel.
I really do. I really do.
So,
He's a comedian. He just wants to rip everybody.
I just
he
want to be
does,
honest.
mate, he does.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Lewis, this is actually a serious question. Do you ever have tics where you just say kind things?
I've said nice things. Fuck off. I used to nice box. Hey, fuck off, nice box. I used to.
Nice box.
I suppose if anybody's sitting there with a box right
Nice
beside them, that's
box.
a nice thing to say.
That's beautiful. Like to a woman, like nice box.
Or to a
Oh,
homeless
you
guy who's
dirty
living
boy.
in one?
But yeah, no, I've ticked you're very beautiful woman before.
Really?
All
I've
right.
ticked.
Did she tick by slapping you?
I've ticked some nice things. Like I've said, hey. Like I don't see anything offensive with the word hey, but I've ticked that at people quite a lot.
It
You know what I
depends
mean?
if I'm gluten
It's not
intolerant. or
bad
not.
things all the time. Like
Man,
caramel's so
sure.
sweet. Caramel's so sweet and innocent, mate, and that's one of the most common ones.
Have you dated a woman? Have you dated a woman with Tourette's?
No, that is not a relationship I would like to get myself into.
Is that because
But
you would
my
maybe set
girlfriend
each
at the
other off
minute-
with ticks?
My girlfriend at the minute, I'm the second person with Tourette's she's dated.
Really?
Oh my
really?
God. She has a
Yeah.
fetish for Tourette's?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh my God.
Oh
Hey,
shit, Deborah.
Northern Ireland's such a small place. I'd actually fought her ex-boyfriend in a fight in a kickboxing match way
Wow.
back when, and I finished him in the first round.
Whoa! Stop. Okay, stop.
Was that
stop.
did you guys consider that the rumble in the fucking jungle?
No, I hadn't had Tourette's at this point. Well, I hadn't had my tics anyway. I was just a little quiet kickboxer boy.
A tick boxer. That's a new sport, I think.
Fuck off, you know what? See if I ever do make it to that place, like where I can make my own sport. I'm making kickboxing a thing.
That would be great. I would tune
Well
in.
done.
Strictly only people with Tourette's allowed to compete in my organization.
It would be, you'd have to call it the FUFC.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Hey, balls in your fucking head. Your wordplay is impeccable.
Yeah, I'll see you next Tuesday.
Huh?
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yes, man.
For cunt.
My sister has made my little cousin a TikTok, right? And her name's Catherine, and she's made the name FUCK.
Did you think TikTok was an app for people with tics?
No, mate, no, I didn't understand TikTok. I still really don't. Like, it's just, it's kind of the evolutionary thing of Facebook, isn't it?
I think it's the de-evolutionary thing of Facebook. It's it makes people's attention spans like 30 seconds or less, I think.
They go for their lives and stuff and all that, and they're like, and it's just,
That's
it seems interactive. You know what I mean? A lot more interactive than Facebook ever was. It's like Snapchat and Facebook put themselves together.
I did jump on a live with Billie Eilish, and I told her music sucks.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, she didn't like that.
Wait, did you really?
Shit.
Yeah, I did.
Did you get tick blocked?
She ticked blocked me.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
I'm just kidding. It's just wordplay from Rockstedi.
All right.
I said he said he told her he didn't like music, so I said she got tick
you might be
blocked.
left out of the lip or something.
I got TikTok blocked.
TikTok blocked. All right, guys. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on stage. We're going to start to pop you down and just sort of tell on towards the end of the podcast now. And just unless you've got anything you want to ask here to Lewis, or he wants to ask you guys as well. Is there anything you want to share?
I just wanted to say thank you again, Lewis. This was a lot of fun, man. I like listening to you, and like I said, I'm interested in the personality that is Lewis Nickell. I'm looking forward to listening to anything you do in the future, man. Just make sure I turn those notifications on, so I'll get them right away.
Gentlemen, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. Yes, mate, I stream every day on my Facebook page as well, dude. So like, I don't do nothing like this here yet. I will get there eventually, but at the minute we're just doing dishes, cooking food, having the crack. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like my day-to-day life sort of style.
Cool content, man.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. I try to just make it as entertaining as I can. So swing over and have a laugh with us on there if you ever want.
Will do. Well, hey, Lewis, every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on...
Fucking porn.
On this app right here, we do the Rocstedi Comedy Crew show. So you're always invited. Anytime you want to join us, you just let us know, that day or whatever, and you hop right on with us.
I not even be able to, mate. I got one of these here Samsung flip phones. So like I can't download this app and be a part of the crew.
He's actually using his sister's phone or someone at the moment because it's an iPhone. Because so we need to sort this out. We need to sort out Androids could get on too. But if you do want to get on on that comedy show, Lewis, we can arrange it through Instagram. I can stream it across to here at the same time. So you can do it from your actual phone too if you like. That's fine.
Mate, we'll do something like that. But that's like today to get on this here. I was in the middle of getting a tattoo. My sister came up. She was meant to bring me a phone. She couldn't bring me a phone because I forgot to remind me to get it. It was a big shambles. I didn't get the phone.
Right.
She needed to go pick up the kids, so I couldn't use her phone. I asked my friend Holly to bring down a phone. She couldn't. She was going to give me a PC or a computer, an Apple Mac. I don't know, fucking apples. Go ahead, folks. An Apple Mac. And then she couldn't. So I ended up getting Terry to bring me down his phone. And I'm using his phone now in his house.
Did you just say caramel apples?
What?
Did you just say caramel apples? Because now I'm hungry.
How dare you insult Apple? Fuck with that.
What we can do is
tell Apple make a phone that go like this. I'll insult the fuck out of them.
Apple flip. We do a weekly comedy show on here as well. So obviously I have my serious podcast like this where we talk about serious subjects. And then once a week I let my hair down with the boys, with Elvis and Joey Butts. And tomorrow, tonight, US time, Paul Vader is going to be our guest on the show as well. And we just sort of get on there and we have fun. We take the piss. we have a laugh, man. So yeah, you're always welcome to drop into that show and be a guest if you like as well.
Holy shit.
Sounds like a plan, boys.
I'm sorry to interrupt, though. Holy shit. This was your serious podcast?
It was until you guys jumped on.
We've been having a lot of fun, man. I've been having fun listening and chiming in.
Lighthearted seriousness.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to start
to...
I'm going to just start to pop the guys from the stage back down. So thank you for joining us. Paul, we appreciate it. I'm just going to drop you down there. And Deborah, appreciate you joining us as well. Thank you very much for coming up. I'll just drop you down there. And King, thank you very much as well, man.
Thank you, guys. Both of you guys. Thanks a lot.
Lewis got here.
Yeah, thank you, both of you, for bringing this great show to everybody. Clap it up, everybody, all right? And meet us back here in about 11 hours.
That's right. For the Rocs Comedy Crew, 11 hours. Okay. So removed from stage. Brother, yeah, so sorry, you were just saying then that you were going to get a tattoo and then you had to change that to this podcast. Yeah. So I appreciate that. Yeah, man.
It's all right. It was just more like it wouldn't have looked good for the tattoo artist. if I was sitting there getting a tattoo and then podcasting and trying to do both at the same time, and then ended up
Sure.
setting off my tics and ended up fucking getting a big fucking something down my arm. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey. But I was
Alright.
gonna do both, like. But
What was
I
that
was
last
gonna
part?
say about the lightheartedness. That's my tattoo. Is Anubis scales. We're gonna get Anubis is all about weighing your heart before you go into the afterlife. You know what I mean? My dad was a big fan of Egyptian culture, so I live my life very lightheartedly. So whenever my heart goes on the scales, I'll be granted eternal life.
Beautiful, man. That's good. That's good. Excellent. Look, I just want to thank you for your time today, man. It's been great to get to know you more personally and about understanding about Tourette's syndrome. So, yeah, I don't have much more to add right now. I'm just kind of I'm glad I got to ask a lot of the questions I was curious about, and I hope that the listeners also had those same sort of thoughts as me, that we sort of understood. There's some really interesting things I didn't know before. I assumed that people that with Tourette's syndrome all burst out and swear and things like that, but it wasn't the case. Like it's a rare thing, and just how it came on, and that there's no cure at all, and all these things really helped me raise awareness for myself. But we'll push this podcast out on social media again after this. This is all live now, but the recording will push out on YouTube and things like that over the next coming weeks. So I'll definitely keep you informed, but I'll give you a call real quick straight after this, just to sum it up after this show on your WhatsApp.
No worries.
Yep. Just to catch up, because I'll run a couple of ideas past you with the whole social media thing for you and see what you think. But other than that, man, truly thank you. So where can people find you on social media?
Oh, fuck me, I'm everywhere these days, bro.
Yes. Yeah, you are. You're actually quite easy to find. Lewis Qball Nickell, everyone. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, it's everywhere. So go and give him a follow. Interact in his shows. You can let him know that you saw him live on Fireside on the Rocstedi podcast. And just show your support to him. Believe me, there's going to be some things coming up for this guy, because I want to help structure some stuff for this fella, and let's see if he can actually earn off social media, because he damn well deserves it for being such a damn good guy. So thank you, Lewis.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much again. Thank you for the time, Rock.
Not a problem,
thank
man.
you for tuning in. It's been fucking entertaining, and hey, as Rock says, it's been a wee bit educational, sharing my story with you guys. Again, I appreciate everybody coming at me, putting in their chime into the wee music. I don't know what to say, bro. Thank you very much. These are legends.
Not a problem. Not a problem. That's great. No, I hope you like the whole interactive audience thing. There's it goes across. It's great. People can ask questions live and stuff. And just for myself, I'm going to give myself a shameless plug too on my show with you anyway. And just for anyone listening on YouTube, you can find us on Instagram _Rocstedi, on Facebook, the Rocstedi podcast, same as TikTok, the Rocstedi podcast, Telegram, Discord, the whole lot. I think I'm everywhere as well. So look us up and give us a follow, and definitely give Lewis Qball Nickell a follow on all different social media platforms, which and when you see this live on YouTube, hopefully his Patreon set up. So donate, become a subscriber to him on Patreon. So thank you very much, Lewis. All right, so we'll end the show now, and I'll give you a quick call. I'm just going to end the show at the bottom. Thanks to the listeners for joining. Thanks for your interaction. Thanks for clapping it up for Lewis, and we'll see you next show tonight, your time in the US, for Rock's Comedy Crew with the King and Joey Butts, with our guest Paul Vado. Thank you very much.
Peace out, dudes.
Bye bye.
Hey.